Pivot tables let you display and analyze large data collections. In this movie, I will show you how to use conditional formatting so that you can use color to indicate the relative magnitude of values within your pivot table. I will use the color scales sample file, which you can find in the Chapter 5 folder of your exercise files archive. This pivot table contains monthly sales data for 5 different departments, and what I'd like to do is use color to indicate how large values in the pivot table are in comparison to other values. Specifically, the values that I want to work with are in cells B5 through D9. Those are the individual data elements within the pivot table. I'm avoiding the grand totals here in column E and also in row 10. That means all the values that are being compared to each other are monthly sales values as opposed to summaries, which will usually be much larger. To create the color scale conditional format, select the cells, and then on the Home tab of the ribbon, in the Styles group, I'll click Conditional Formatting. From the menu that appears, I'll point to Color Scales, and now I can click the color scale that I want to use. The first 6 color scales are 3-color color scales, and the last 3 are 2-color color scales. So let's start out simple and work with one of the 2-color scales. And down at the bottom, I'll start with green and white. So I'll click that from the palette and click outside of the selection so that you can see it without any highlighting. This 2-color color scale displays the largest values with a green background or a green fill color for their cells. And you can see the largest value, 130,415, has a dark green background. By contrast, the cell with the smallest value, 11,730, has a white fill or white background, and various cells in between those two values show various saturations of green. Basically, the darker the green, the larger the value. That's what a 2-color color scale looks like. If you want to create a 3-color color scale, you can do so. I'll remove this one by clicking the Undo button, and then with the cells selected again, click Conditional Formatting, point to Color Scales, and now I'll select a 3-color color scale. And I'll click the green, white, and red. So again, the largest values will be green, but this time middle values will be white and low values will be red. So click that button, and you can see how the conditional format has been applied. This time, the largest value, 130,415, has a green fill. The smallest value, 11,730, instead of being white as it was before, now has a dark red background. And middle values, 65,561 is one about in the middle of this range, is in white. Values on the lower side of average, but not quite at the bottom, are tinted in red and various shades of pink, whereas values that are slightly higher than average have various tints of green. And that's how you add a color scale conditional format to your pivot tables. They're a great way to indicate the relative magnitude of different values using color, and you can use either 2 colors or 3-color scales, whichever best suits your purpose.